And welcome back to another episode of the Lines in the Sands podcast. And as always, it's me, and it's Key. We're back. WrestleMania is over, and we are the. Oh, I forgot he didn't win. But anyway, we got two mods left. Our guy Chris. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Key, how you doing? Good to be back after this weekend. As y'all can tell, I haven't shaved or anything. It's just this. I don't know how I can live like this. Cody Rhodes isn't champ. I need to acknowledge my tribal chief every day, but I just don't know. I don't know. We'll discuss it tonight.
And down below me, my fellow WrestleMania buddy. We was there this weekend. Brett is in Philly right now. He done seen everything on the docket, WWE. And remember, and he's also on the N1 podcast with Mo. Make sure y'all check that out. The Guard the Three. Brett, what's going on, man?
You know what? I'm actually doing much better. I learned that Giannis's injury is just a calf strain. I almost had a heart attack before coming onto the show seeing that, but we're good now, and I'm ready to talk some wrestling.
And from the popular, very, very good morning show over there on Wire to Wire Network, we got Mo from Coffee and Sports with Chris and Mo. Mo, what's going on tonight, man?
So I kind of feel like Chris above me. Food doesn't taste as good. Things don't smell quite right. I did enjoy WrestleMania. I'm not going to be a downer. I enjoyed WrestleMania all the way up to the last match. So I did enjoy it. They put on a really good show. It is difficult for me to swallow that Cody Rhodes is the champion now. But you know what? We move forward into this new era.
It's all about the new era, y'all. Vince McMahon is no longer part of anything because if he was, we would have got none of this that we seen this weekend. Record breaking things going on in the WWE as this past weekend. WrestleMania, both nights 72K, a grand total of all 4 nights, over 200 and some odd thousand tickets that were sold. Cody sold over $1 million worth of merchandise. That's another breaking record right there. Just gate sales. WrestleMania 40 going down in the record books. You can't put some people may put it. Maybe it was the best WrestleMania. Maybe it's a top 10. I'm not saying number 1, but you can put it definitely in this top WrestleManias we've seen. But it was great in my book. I especially enjoyed night 2, night 1, but we're going to talk about it. Also, we're going to catch our brains, maybe who's should be the next Money in the Bank, who's the next feud for Cody, but who does Damian Priest go up against, who y'all would like to see him go up against. Kicking it off for night 1. Night 1, we had the main event with the tag team. Night 1 for me was it was good in the beginning, it was good in the end, but some parts in the middle just wasn't clicking. That's how I felt about night 1. Night 1 kicked off Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. I already knew that Becky wasn't going to lose this match. She came in at 102 fever at that. She was sick. She still went out there. She said she wanted to go first so she could watch Seth. But Becky Lynch didn't get it done. Mommy's always on top. She retains. They're going to keep her at a high level right now. I think they're going to try to have her baby face. But Chris, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about this match between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley?
It was a good, hard-hitting match. Love to see, Rhea retain. I'm enjoying her story a lot more than another story we'll discuss later. I wonder who. I think they're obviously going to set her up for Live next, but Becky did come out there with a fever. You really couldn't tell if they wouldn't mention it on commentary because she put on a great show. I love that it was a clean finish for Rhea. Back-to-back clean finishes at WrestleMania against 2 of the 4 horsewomen. So Rhea is the future of the women's division, and that is obvious, and I enjoyed it.
Mo, your thoughts on that match?
I thought it was a terrific match. What made it great for me was that Becky was at the top of her game, and that elevated Rhea. And the fact that Rhea was like Chris said, to get a clean pin, I think that matters. I think that matters down the road when we start comparing her to the greats. You can see, at least I can see, I don't think Rhea's gonna not be the champion anytime. No one's gonna take it away from her. Like right now, she's at the top of her game. And I don't see anybody in the near future that's gonna take that belt off her hands. Like she's the most dominant champion, in my opinion, in the whole company.
Brett?
Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was just like a step below what she did last year with Charlotte. It was a great match, knocking off 2 of the 4 horsewomen clean in back-to-back WrestleManias. Absolutely great. That fever didn't stop Becky from putting on an absolute banger. And yeah, I don't see her dropping the title at least till next year's WrestleMania. I think she'll have a match with Bianca there. That'll be phenomenal. And I don't think we're going to see her drop the title at least till next year's WrestleMania at the earliest. And I'm really enjoying the run so far.
Definitely, they building Rhea Ripley up the right way. Her in Judgment Day, we all know she's the leader of that group. Just where they're gonna go from here with Judgment Day. I know Damian Priest is the champ now. She's she has the titles. Them 2 with the titles, and the other 3 don't have anything going on. So see where Judgment Day is gonna go. Do they break them up? Do they put Rhea by herself because she don't need a faction? She's good either way. So we'll definitely see where that goes. So Rhea Ripley does retain. The next match that happened.
Before you get on to that, I have a quick question. With Rhea, like it's on the Judgment Day thing, is Rhea a face right now? Like nobody's really booing her.
Nope, I think she is.
And she's not cheating to win.
Leaning towards that way. That's what I'm saying. She's leaning towards like they. Okay, so I went to Raw last night. Of course, it was in Philadelphia. Me and Brett was there. And see, when Judgment Day came out, they cheered the hell out of Priest and they cheered Rhea. It's just the other ones that was like, but them 2 got big pops.
I think the best way to describe Rhea is she's not a good guy or she's not a bad guy. She's just Rhea. She's a tweener. She's somewhere in the middle. She's a bad guy. She's technically, probably by technicality, supposed to be a bad guy that we love to cheer. So I think the truth is she's somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to go with she's a tweener.
I can deal with the tweener. It's just weird. Like it's mixed reactions from the crowd. So moving on to I'm pulling up the card. Doggone it. What happened after the first? See, after the first match, they got
ladder match.
Thank you. The ladder match for the tag team champions. 2 belts. Both set of belts was hung from the ladder. Of course, we had Judgment Day. You had DIY. You had Awesome Truth. You had New Catch Republic, The New Day, and A-Town Down Under. Now, I knew they was going to split these belts up. We already knew Miz and Truth was going to win on the Raw side. Did not call Grayson Waller and Austin Theory winning on the SmackDown side. But this was a good ladder match. It had its spots. Of course, we've seen some high flying. We've seen some off the wall moves, especially the happy ending from Ciampa. I forget who he did it on. At the very top of that ladder. Shout out goes to the ref for telling Priest to get a new ladder, because if he didn't, that would have been disastrous. But this was a pretty good. I thought this was gonna be bad with 12 men in the ring, but it actually wasn't bad. Your thoughts on this? We're gonna start with Mo.
So usually a match like this can be kind of chaotic and have those dull spots, but I thought it was fast paced, and because it was fast paced, it didn't really like draw out and become dull. I was glad that Miz and Truth. Well, look, Truth is just entertaining. Period. Like I think he's found this different lane or second career, if you will, in WWE where he can be entertaining whether he has a belt or not. He's just a great comic relief kind of guy. So them winning was fun for me. We're talking about 2 veterans. They talked about it, I think, on the Pat McAfee show where they're both like 18, 19 years in. So it's big for them to have this moment. I like that. The thing about Waller and Theory that I found interesting with them winning is there was a moment when they were pushing Theory, right? Theory was getting ready to be one of those young up and coming guys. And then it seemed like he kind of stalled out. And then all of a sudden him and Waller became just these two goofy guys that were like kind of like comic relief. I think putting belts around their waist gives them the reason to show up, give them the reason to actually like show their talents. They're actually both very talented performers. So maybe the belts around their waist elevates them in a way where they can become the kind of guys that you love to hate because they're obviously both heels. So I'm really interested in seeing what they do with those two guys going forward. Because obviously, as much as I like Truth, as much as it was a big moment for Miz, they're not going to have a long run together.
Chris?
Seeing A-Town Down Under, that was a shocker for me. I thought it was going to be Regeneration X winning the titles. That would have been like I guess would have been too happy of an ending, in that match. Because, like I said, we all knew Truth and Miz were going to win it. Wish they could have had like a little bit more interaction with Judgment Day, since that's kind of what the feud was for this match. I did enjoy Truth's tag team or his tag spot. That was a great little moment. Truth-like. But overall, it was a great match. I would have liked to see New Day do a little bit more. I know, Xavier Woods had his elbow spot onto the ladder. That was about like the only thing the New Day really did. But I mean, of course, they just had to get a WrestleMania spot, so it was good for them. But overall, yeah, I was very pleased with the match. I'm not mad at A-Town Down Under. It's just what team is there for them to feud with?
Right. Brett?
I thought having A-Town Down Under, even if they're short-term champions, was actually brilliant because that's the one team nobody expected to win. In fact, there were rumors that they were going to be removed from the ladder match for a surprise team. Like, there were rumors about like the Hardys, the Dudleys, the Motor City Machine Guns. But there were reports that they were going to get removed from the match. So I think going with them, even just for a quick surprise win, even if you have them lose it in 2 weeks, I thought that was a really fun way. These are two young, talented guys that can absolutely carry these tag titles for a while if need be. Or, even if they lose it, they'll make it entertaining. And that's what it's all about. So I absolutely, actually, looking back on it, I really enjoy having A-Town Down win there. There were definitely a lot of fun spots, like Tommaso Ciampa doing an air raid from a ladder was absolutely insane. Yeah, and JD McDonough going through the table, like so many fun spots. But at the end of the day, I'm so happy that Truth and Miz got their big moment in front of the crowd. It's almost very reminiscent of like when Zack Ryder got his big moment at WrestleMania and just other happy endings like that. So I thought the ladder match was great, a lot of big spots, and it was really never boring.
Especially with R-Truth, that tag was hilarious. And then he went for the pin. Like, no, Truth, you gotta go climb the ladder. Like, I still think protect Truth at all costs. Like, the man's still moving, still shaking good at 52. It's beyond crazy to me. But no, it was all in all, it was good. It wasn't a bad match. I'm with Christo, maybe more Judgment Day interaction. New Day had their spots. It was more of Ciampa and everybody had their spots, but it was a pretty good ladder match. And we had the Intercontinental title. Yeah, Gunther, 666 days as Intercontinental Champion. Come out to Sami Zayn. And they had Sami Zayn looking like Rocky here. Everything that Gunther put at him, he just got up. He was eyeball, talking trash with his wife. I'm like, see, can't talk to the man's wife. And all of a sudden, boom, he pins the champ. 1, 2, 3. Mo, I'll let you start because I know you was upset about this one. Let's talk about it.
First of all, let me just say this: Do I don't have anything against Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn as a performer. I like his personality. Um, I just thought because of the run that Gunther had, that if you're gonna lose, because obviously we know he's moving on and he'll be eventually be a contender for one of the bigger belts. But if you're gonna lose, I just thought he should have lost to a bigger, more impactful wrestler. It would have meant more to me. Great wrestler defeating great wrestler. I think Sammy's a very good wrestler. I don't think he's an all-time great. I just thought it should have been somebody of a bigger stature. So it was disappointing.
Brett. Oh, Chris, go ahead.
I 100% agree with Mo. I think that's the issue. We knew Gunther was going to lose at WrestleMania. It shouldn't have been to Sammy. Because you got to think about Ultimate Warrior beat Honky Tonk Man in his title reign. And he was able to transition that IC title reign to a world title. Sammy's not going to be a world champion. Not that he doesn't have the talent. He just won't be a world champion. Like, he had his moment during the bloodline. And even then, he wasn't going to be champion. We knew that. So it could have been somebody else. I would have been okay if they would have called up Ilya just to beat Gunther. Like, he's the one who beat him for the NXT title. So that would have been fine.
That would have been good.
The match was good. It was a good ending. Seeing the Brain Buster for the first time in WWE was a good, was nice. But the Raw man won at the right time.
I like that. I like the way he phrased that. I'm with that. Look, it was a great match. Let me just elaborate on top of what Chris said. The match itself, I have no problems at all. Like, I thought both performers brought it. There was a theme throughout the WrestleMania, and I guess we probably all noticed it, that it was the veterans who hadn't gotten opportunities winning, or it just seemed like that was the thing. There were a lot of family members involved in one way or another. That was another theme. So I thought that was interesting, especially when they're trying to really make a big point about this new generation or this new era, because I don't understand what the new era is. And is it the way the matches will be called, the way the opportunities will be given? Because it's not like Cody Rhodes is brand new. He's same age as Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn is older than both of them. I think Priest, who just won, he older than all of them, so he ain't new. So I don't
No,
really
Priest is
understand.
actually in his third. He ain't hit 40.
He's 41. He's 41.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
He's older. Right, he older than all of them. So I'm trying to figure out, like, who's new? There ain't nobody new. Like, I'm just trying to figure that out, because none of these are new faces. These aren't guys that are 25 or 28. They're all the same age, more or less.
Brett, your thoughts on the Intercontinental title?
It really caught me off guard. I did not expect Sammy to win that one. I thought that was going to be like Ilya or even like Braun Breaker, since he was the last one, I think, to beat Gunther in NXT. But, at the end of the day, overall, I guess I should have expected that as soon as they started the Rocky style build to the match. I should have figured that Sammy was going to walk out at that point. Do I have any beef with Sammy? No. Do I think he should have been the one to beat Gunther? No, but I know he's going to, make it an entertaining run. I know he's going to give it his all. And, yeah, the match itself was great. The Brainbuster caught me off guard. It was a really good match. I just don't think Sammy should have been the one to beat Gunther.
Yeah, him and Gable are going to fight next week on Raw. It's not going to be that same. I don't know. I think Gable should have won, in my opinion, or let it have been a triple threat. Add Gable to the match. That would have been a cool spot. It's time for Gable to win something by himself. You don't have to be with Otis and Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. He don't have to be with them. He can be single on the singles run. Let's see if Triple H is going to allow Gable to have a title. I think Sammy's going to have it for a little bit. He'll drop it. Just don't know the who. But Sami Zayn beats Gunther 666 days. He was on Raw last night as well. Did he get to experience his music? It was everybody saying, singing along. But no, it was a decent match. This was my bathroom match, which I thought could have been more better, but the build was poop. And it was Jimmy versus Jay, brother versus brother. Clearly Jimmy can't carry a match. This is why he's in a tag team match. Jay, I can see Jay. This is why Jay is main event Jey Uso. He's okay on his own, but Jimmy needs some help. Um, Jay ends up winning, even though they could have had Jimmy beat Jay because Jimmy's already. I mean, Jay is already super over, and they could have had Jimmy win this match. We've seen brother versus brother. We've seen Bret Hart and Owen. Owen wins. Matt Hardy and Jeff. Matt gets the win. But this match didn't really build for this at all. I think, in my opinion, they waited too late to do this. Didn't have to be at Mania. They could have did it somewhere else. But they said they wanted to fight each other at Mania. Who knows where we go from here with this story? But Brett, let me start with you. Your thoughts on Jimmy versus Jay?
I think I never want to see another super kick in my life after that match. It was very underwhelming. Like, I thought the build-up at the end of the day was fine. They got into it a little late, so I think with the limited time that they gave them, I thought it was fine. But holy cow, this match was just boring. It was underwhelming. They played off the emotional side of it pretty well, but the actual in-ring action was just underwhelming. And I get it. Like, I'm a huge fan of playing like that emotional role in the wrestling match, but the action also has to back it up. And where I think emotionally and storytelling wise they did all right at in the ring, they really need to expand their moveset to something besides super kicks.
Mo?
Yeah, it was just a bad match. It was a stinker. The build up was, it was going to be emotional. The two brothers, Jimmy had cost Jay multiple opportunities to win a belt. So you knew that was an element there. And it was to build up this thing about the brothers coming up, going against one another. I never felt it. I never felt, and the match itself was so lackluster. So it was just something was missing there, and maybe it comes down to this: some guys, and you guys as fans can appreciate this. Some guys, when they tag team with people, they're magical, they're electric, and as solo performers, they're just dull as hell. You realize they don't have the ability to carry a match or be a singles performer. I was making the comments that I look at Jimmy and Jimmy's Mario Giannetti. Without Shawn Michaels, Mario Giannetti was just Joe Blow. He was just a jobber. I don't think you don't look at Jimmy and go, Jimmy's got a bright future as a singles wrestler. No, he doesn't. And the thing about Jay is we say he's way over, but how far over? Is Jay going to be winning a belt anytime soon? I feel like they're going to do Jay kind of like Cody Rhodes, right? He's going to come close a lot of times, but no cigar. So I don't know how far over Jay really is. I just know that this match didn't do anything for either one of them.
Chris?
It was definitely the worst match of the weekend to me, and that's including NXT. Um, it it just was there. Like Brett said, I mean, how many super kicks can you do? How many Samoa drops can you do? And how many splashes? That was the match. Like it started off hot with that suicide dive, and that was it.
Yep.
There was nothing else about it. And what Mo just said about how far can Jay go? It's like after this match, why the hell is Jay Uso the number one contender now?
That's a good point.
I mean, I know I skipped ahead to the Raw, thing, but still, like, what? It just.
That's
I'm happy they got
because
their moment at
CM Punk
WrestleMania.
screwed over Drew again. That's why.
Say it again.
That's because CM Punk screwed Drew.
He could have screwed him and gave Ricochet the win. Like,
that's true.
That's
Ricochet
true.
would have
I
been
get
better
it.
in this spot than Jay to me. Nobody would have thought Ricochet would have won, but he would have put on a better performance. Like Jimmy just, you stunk up WrestleMania. Or not Jimmy, Jay. But like you said, Jimmy, yeah, he's gonna have to be a tag team with Solo or something. And I think that's another thing too with the build of it. Like Jay is main event Jay. Jimmy is
No yeet.
he's a henchman,
Right.
basically. You know, he's the guy you pull to go get beat up, and that's all he was, and that's what he was for this match. So yeah.
That's a great
And
point.
then he took the spear off the stage. That was another, but that was night 2. But Jesus, I wasn't expecting that either. But Jimmy did, like, he just needs to be he needs to be with someone. It could be solo. Shout out to Edward. Edward said Solo should be, go for US title. He also said Brunson Reed should have won. It's time to build the Brunson Reed as well. I mean, I don't get why Jay. I would have took Ricochet. He's been killing it the last weeks, beating Judgment Day. He did a crazy 450, and he told Samantha he was sorry for hitting it. That was funny. Looked at her, was like, "My bad. I'm sorry. I got to do this." And he did the 450 because that's his fiance. He don't, he don't want to go out there and get her or nothing. But I don't know, Jay. So we'll see how far you get. Jay and Cody though. What? That just don't go together. Just don't go together. I don't know, but should have been Brunson Reed in my opinion. Drew, you all know Drew wanted his revenge, but CM Punk said otherwise. No, sir. That was funny too. We get the 6-woman tag match. We got Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. For me. It was a good spot for Jade. It was her first WrestleMania, so I'm happy about that. The entrance wasn't bad. They all had their own separate entrance. They came up on the big thing on the side lift. What do we expect from this match? We knew Bianca and Jade was going to win, but it was a solid match overall. I mean, Jade looked okay. Not, she didn't look bad. Chris, what do you think about the match?
It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Naomi was the one, who got the hope spots. Bianca got to showcase her athleticism, her strength, and Jay got to come in and get the win. Team Cocoa Butter was amazing. They fulfilled so many people's fantasies. It delivered. It did everything it was supposed to do. So I couldn't ask for anything more. I guess Asuka does need a WrestleMania win eventually.
Yeah, she's 0-6.
Yeah.
They gave her the AJ Styles treatment when pay-per-views. Like, not Team Cocoa Butter. I got to use that one because I ain't going to tell you what I called them. I called them the Yam Factory.
No.
Mo, what do you think about the match?
I enjoyed it because Damage Control did exactly what they were supposed to do, and that was make the other squad, the other trio look good. In particular, Jay Cargill, and they succeeded in doing that. So look, I think mission accomplished, ladies. Well done. Wasn't the best match, but it's an entertaining match, and it did what it was supposed to do. It elevated Jay that much more.
Brett, you was there night 1. What do you think about the match?
Oh man, real quick the last thing I want to say about Jimmy and Jay real quick. I think you guys would find this entertaining. I remember before the match jokingly telling the person, "Hey, next to me, I go, hey, we should both buy a drink, have a shot every time there's a super kick." I'm glad he did not take me up on that. I'd been cooked.
You wouldn't be here now.
You wouldn't have made it out of Lincoln Financial.
I would have not made it tonight too, but this when it came to this match, it was good. Like, it was a solid match. It was a fun match. It did exactly what it was set out to do. Make Jade look like a star. I think everybody looked good. Everybody had their spots. But at the end, it did exactly what it was supposed to. Jade looked like $1 million, and she did it on the biggest stage of them all. So overall, I thought this was a good match, and it set out exactly what it was supposed to do.
Remember me saying earlier in previous episodes, I said Jade, and they need to stick her with They need to stick her with someone for right now to get, she had this squash match last night against Chelsea Green. Now, apparently that the match was supposed to be on earlier, but Rock and Cody took up so much time, and they was like, "Oh, we still going to do it." And when I seen Chelsea Green come out, I said, "Oh, this is about to be a squash match." She kicked her, put her in the move, but that was it. I said, "Do we really have to have this match? Did we really have to have this match? It's okay. I'll watch Jade, but this really had to be on TV." She got her moment, but She got
Yes,
her
it did.
moment.
That's what you do after
I-
WrestleMania. Like it
I
made perfect sense
enjoyed
to
it.
do it.
So I mean, but it was interesting. You know, we got to see her again. But no, she needs to be with someone for right now, and then she'll branch off and be on her own. But I loved it. I liked it. Great WrestleMania win for her. Um, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. Um, Rey and Andrade comes in, wins, and with the help of some Philadelphia Eagles, Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson dressed as luchadors, which I think the crowd went crazy for. Brett was there. He'll he can elaborate on the pop that they got. Another bad for match for me. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Went into the kitchen. I was getting something. Might have been snacks or something. I come back. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, who are these two people? I'm like, oh, it's Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Okay, my bad. So that was my snack break. But like I said, it was one of those matches in between. I guess it was all right. The big pop goes to Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Brett, your thoughts on this match?
So I actually had to go back. And rewatch this because I also used this as a quick bathroom break match, which was a mistake. Apparently, the bathroom break match was 2 matches later, but I came back just in time when when Kelsey and Lane came out, and the pop was great for them. Everybody loved that. Overall, it was a fun match. It was a solid match, and once it just did what it was supposed to. It was like just a time filler. Everybody looked good. Everybody had their spots, and it got the crowd. It kept the crowd's energy up, getting Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson involved. So overall, I thought it was it was a good match, and it set out exactly what it was supposed to do. It kept everybody hyped and ready to go on for the rest of the night.
No.
I feel like this is one of those kind of matches where you have a bunch of talent that you don't know what to do with them. So you put them in a match like this. Like this LWO, this rivalry, if you want to call it, I don't see the point of it. I don't see how it impacts anything. I don't even see where that story would go. Like these are like two factions. They're not competing for any belts. They're not I don't I just don't think they have any real impact in the WWE. It's if it's personal on a personal level, I guess you could go that way, but it doesn't draw me in like that. It wasn't a bathroom break, I'll be honest. I just straight turned and started watching basketball till it was over. So.
Chris.
I guess I'm an odd man out. I didn't hate it as much as y'all, but it didn't make sense to me for it to happen. There was really no build for it. The night before we get Andrade into it, why not Carlito, who's actually a member of the LWO? He must be hurt or something. I don't know what's going on with Carlito. And I guess that's kind of what I had my interest, because I really thought Carlito was gonna turn because he wasn't in it, which would have made sense. But I'm not an Eagles fan, so I didn't care about Kelsey coming.
But
I'm sorry, Key.
But he was going to come out at some point because it's Philadelphia and it's the Lincoln Financial Field, and they had reports that WWE was talking to Kelsey. So I probably knew.
What did he have to do with any of this? Like, Dominic's never wore like a jersey or anything. Like, what? That was just kind of out of nowhere.
That is a good point. Like, why, if even him getting involved, like, why would he take their side over the other? You know what I mean? Like, that is a good
exactly.
point. Like, I don't get that.
I don't know. I mean, look, George Kittle and Gronkowski got into it that one Super Bowl. I mean, that one WrestleMania. So why not Kelsey?
Well, that one made sense. Jinder Mahal pushed Gronk, so let me get my shot back. Like that kind of had something like, is Kelsey out here defending deadbeat dads like Rey Mysterio? Like, what's going on?
Not deadbeat dads, but I mean, plus we've seen Ray and Dom last year by themselves, and I thought.
I mean, I get why it happened. It's just, why did it happen?
The involvement of Kelsey and Lane shows how much WWE don't care about this match or this story. Yeah, pretty much. pretty
So
much.
exactly.
Yep. They was like, you know what? We're going to stick you in this Rey Mysterio match because we're not going to care, and the crowd's going to go crazy because Jason Kelsey just retired and he's a beloved Eagle in the city of Philadelphia. So yeah, that worked. That worked.
Hell,
Now
Kelsey should have been in the Uso match. That could have taken more sense
That would
because
have
he's a
livened
famous.
it up.
Yeah, he's a famous brother. So like, you could have made something with that. Like, I don't know.
Wouldn't that have been good?
I had Travis come out. That would have been dope. Get Travis on one side. That would have been funny. Main event of the evening is all we've been waiting for. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And The Rock had the best entrance of the night for night one. His entrance was dope. Go ahead and put the one up. I'll give you the one because they, versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Of course, I don't know what the hell Seth wore. Yes, night one. It looked like grandmom's robe from church with that big old bow. Remind me of, something churchy. But good match overall. We all know who won this match. It was Rock and Roman. They had some spots, especially when the Rock speared. Rock got speared. I'm like, oh no. But solid match overall. We all knew what was gonna happen. Cody took the pin from the Rock, and good solid match. Chris, your thoughts on the tag team match?
It was a 45-minute match. Could not tell. It
That's a
didn't
good sign.
overstay its welcome, it seemed like, for 45 minutes. Rock really surprised me. He did a lot of stuff. He didn't seem gassed. I know that was the thing that we all talked about. Was he going to have the energy to even have a good match? He delivered. Cody, of course, he delivered his part. Everybody did their part, played their role great. Seth selling a knee injury was good. The Rock being the final boss, telling the ref, like, hey, don't count. I'll fire you right now.
I love that.
Just heel Rock, and it was good. The way they did the finish was good. When he slapped Cody with that belt, oh my god, man, that was crazy.
That had some sound to it too.
It was like Bianca's whip.
Yep.
Overall, though, the main event delivered to me. That was probably my favorite match of the weekend.
Yeah, because you still had the ones at that point.
That too. That helped.
Mo.
So I'm exactly where Chris is. It was my favorite match, but at the same time, because it ended the way it did, immediately I went to, oh no, Cody's gonna win tomorrow night. So I was happy, but in the moment when I really put some thought into it, I was like, oh no. Look, I thought all guys brought their A game. I was really impressed with Rock. I thought he and Roman did a really good job of quick tagging, so Rock could pick his spots. I was really impressed with all four performers. I thought Rollins was excellent, did a great job of selling the knee injury. Cody was on point. It was just a really entertaining match, so I loved it. Look, it by far was my favorite match of the weekend, but that's for obvious reasons. But yeah, look, I just enjoyed it a lot. I thought all performers were at the top of their game.
Brett?
Yeah, this main event was absolutely phenomenal. I didn't even realize it went 45 minutes until, at the end of the night, you're pulling out your phone to send, hook up with your ride or whoever you're doing. And I was like, oh crap, that went that long, because it felt like it was like a snap of a finger and they went through the entire match. It was so much fun. There was never a dull moment. And like I said, all credit to The Rock. When we first came back, he gave like one spine buster and people's elbow to Jinder Mahal, and he was sweating and looked absolutely gassed. So credit to him for putting in all that work to get into ring shape, because after 45 minutes, that man was not even breaking a single sweat. Like, he showed the world why he's one of the greatest of all time, why he is the great one. So overall, it was an absolute 10 out of 10, and I think it was booked perfectly, and the right team won.
8 years since The Rock's been in the ring. And I guess, everybody stated up here,
that don't count.
Good. Didn't gas. He wasn't he kept up with the pace. He was doing out there doing his thing. So can't be mad at The Rock. Anybody's favorite entrances or anything moment wise from night one?
Oh man, favorite entrance for sure was The Rock. My favorite moment being there, and this was so like low key, but it was really cool. The Rock and Seth Rollins were brawling like two sections over from me, like it were really easy to see it. That
Oh,
was
that's
super cool.
nice.
I love that. Overall, favorite moment that's really tough to pick out. I would probably say it was Cody giving the rock bottom through the table and at the same time
Mm,
the spear through the barricade.
that was
Like
good.
so much just happened. Like I was so fixated on that rock bottom. All of a sudden, next thing you know, I look at the screen and just Roman's sending
Yeah,
Seth
that
through the
came he came out of
barricade.
nowhere. Yeah.
That was crazy. And honestly, that was probably my favorite sequence of the night.
I love Rock's entrance, and I don't know where would Seth Rollins be shopping at Goodwill. I don't know. I'd be putting that stuff together, but that's some rough stuff that he be putting together. Yo, I don't get it. I don't get it all. Clearly, he does not take fashion advice from his wife because I don't know what he be doing.
Chris, your favorite? Any entrance or moments or
Um, I mean, of course, yeah, like I said, The Rock's entrance was amazing. My favorite moment probably was seeing Team Cocoa Butter descend down just on that ramp was
Mm.
good. Brett, did the arena smell good at that time? Like, I just know it had to. Like, that walk past there just had to be so amazing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I was in the poor man seats. I wasn't like Brett up close and personal. Really, I was in the poor man seats. I was on the entrance side. So I seen when they come out. Like I seen them when they first come out, and you can't see, like nobody else can see them come out. So I was right there on the side. So I seen everything. So I seen everything behind the WrestleMania, entrance. It was people. It was actually people behind the WrestleMania sign. I'm like, y'all clearly didn't read y'all ticket because that was the ticket that said limited view. You couldn't pay. I wouldn't pay no amount of money to pay for them seats and have something in front of me. Nope, I'm good. But
Nah, you just had that stupid light blinding you the entire night, right?
so I don't know if y'all heard the chants during the night too of please turn the light off. And then it was during the Bailey's match, and you heard the crowd just go crazy for no reason. That's because they turned the light off. So where I'm sitting at the bright behind light all night long, and it was on the other side, and the whole place was just like we started to turn the light off. And it was so annoying, but yeah, but that was my favorite night when the light went off. Okay, because it was right in your face. You couldn't enjoy it, but The Rock definitely is my favorite entrance. Um, my least favorite match was Jimmy and Jay. I think that's everybody's match up here. That was the least favorite. Moment wise, I don't know if I have a favorite moment. I guess you could say Jade and as team. I'm gonna go with the Yam Factory since Chris got Team Cocoa Butter. Getting their moment. Naomi already had hers. Bianca already had hers. This is a perfect spot for Jade to get hers. So I'm gonna go with that with being the moment. Moving on to night two. Night two, in my opinion, was the best night. Um, Wrestling wise, match wise, everything wise. We started this match off with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre had the live bagpipes. Seth Rollins. If y'all did not know, I'm going to give y'all a little history lesson. Seth Rollins, when he came out with the parade, here in Philly, every New Year's Eve, every New Year's Day down in South Philly, we got the Mummers Parade. All the Italians, all just get together with the city. Big thing here in Philly. So they were the mummers that was with him. I don't even know if you remember when Jason Kelsey when won the Super Bowl, he was dressed as a mummer. That was part of it. So that's what Seth Rollins was. Any non-Philly person would not know that. So gave y'all a history lesson, know what that was. And Seth Rollins was dressed as a mummer. This match begins great opener. We all knew Seth was going to lose. CM Punk was on commentary. I had to go back and watch this match just to hear the commentary. Great opening match, back and forth, right from the beginning. We get action again, selling the knee from the night before. Drew McIntyre wins, but then there's more. All you had to do was shut up and leave CM Punk alone. Shut up and leave this man alone. You gonna glow in his face. You got this title, and what happens? CM Punk comes, hit him with the brace, and all of a sudden, here come one Damian Priest to run down this ramp, cashing in one finishing move. 1, 2, 3, new champ. Drew was champ all for 5 minutes. Y'all thoughts on this match? I'm gonna start with you, Mo.
The match itself was a great match. I mean, from the gate, he hits him with a claymore. And I'm like, wow, we're not playing tonight, Drew. We're not playing. Showing no mercy. Mind you, he did warn him, if you get hurt messing around with Cody, I'm not going to show you no mercy. And he didn't. And it was impressive that Rollins survived several of those. I mean, there were a lot of quick false finishes. It was an entertaining match all the way up to the very end. I didn't get why Drew McIntyre went over there and he shoves the belt towards CM Punk. And then he gets up on the table and crawls toward him very creepily, by the way. That was very creepy. I didn't get that. He looked like he was trying to be seductive or something. It was very creepy. I didn't get that. And so the interaction, I didn't understand. And like you said, right, Drew, if you just take the win and bounce, you're good. And you end up having like the shortest title reign ever or whatever. Like that was the funny part was it wasn't that when Punk clocked him, it was soon as he clocked him, it was like the Judgment Day was watching this and she said, go. And Priest, I mean, he looked like Carl Lewis. He's sprinting down there. He was like, I want to cash in. I mean, he saw that opportunity and wasted no time. I actually love that. And it obviously sets up a feud between Priest and CM Punk. So I loved the whole interaction. That was a great match. The whole interaction I enjoyed.
Chris?
I mean, I agree with everything Mo just said. It was a good match. It started off, instantly I thought we were having that WrestleMania callback to, Daniel Bryan being pinned really quick, but Seth kicked out. It was like a spam finisher match, which was good. That it actually worked for this match. I don't like it sometimes, but it was good for this one. I did like that Priest got to cash in because it was expected, but it was unexpected. Because even when Priest came out, just because who he is, I thought there was still a doubt in my mind that Drew was going to kick out of that choke slam and retain his belt. Especially after him and Seth had that moment where Seth was like, you deserve this and all that. I don't know if y'all caught that or not, but
yeah,
which is true. Drew never got his moment in front of fans. And he can still always say he technically did. He only had it for 5 minutes. Like that's so. But this match did everything it needed to do, and then some by having Priest successfully cash in.
Brett?
I thought that was exactly what it needed to be. Just a couple of guys just hitting each other with their best shots. Great opening match. The right guy won. I think before in the build up, McIntyre told Punk that when he wins, he's gonna rub it in his face. So I think that's kind of explains why he went over there because he did exactly what he said he was gonna do, get in his face and kind of rub it in. And CM Punk was never gonna take lightly to that. So to me, everything made sense from beginning to end to Drew flexing on Punk to the cash in. Like it all tied together so perfectly. I love that opening segment. Yeah, I don't think you could have started off WrestleMania Night 2 any better than that.
And apparently his family was upset. But hey, I mean,
Was that real?
I don't think that was real. It was just funny though, but I don't know. But they had a picture of the family giving up middle fingers at Lincoln Financial, so I don't know. But it was just funny. But I went back and watched the commentary because when you're there, you can't hear the commentary. So I just wanted to hear CM Punk. He was just like, "What you coming over here to me for? Enjoy your title." Like, yeah, you won. Like, he was just like, why? So it was just funny because I seen a TikTok today and the fan was screaming. She's like, "All you had to do was just leave, Drew. All you had to do was just leave. Like, why are you rubbing it in his face? Just go." And then here come Priest. It was hilarious. But no, it was a big pop for Drew when he won. Even bigger pop for Priest when he won.
Yeah.
So I mean, being there in person, seeing that was pretty dope. Then we had this. You had the Philly street fight. We had AOP and Karrion Kross, the Last Testament, versus Street Profits and Bobby Lashley and B-Fab, and Snoop Dogg was on commentary. I listened to the commentary of this one too because I heard everybody was like Snoop had me rolling. Snoop was hilarious on commentary. He had him and McAfee, and he was just like, "Oh, I gotta go to the green screen. Y'all can't do what I do back there." Like we all know what Snoop was gonna go do.
Right.
And it's funny. I find it funny. Okay, all the black folks, really, gin and juice. You gonna have them come out to Street Profits and Bobby Lashley, just like y'all had the girls come out the Wing Stop, black folks and chicken. It's not a coincidence, WWE. Come on now. But
And
anyway.
Ray, they had like aqua frescas. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Interesting match, I'm going to say. I thought that the momentum was still going to carry over from SmackDown with AOP because I picked them to win. I was wrong. Bobby Lashley getting his finally WrestleMania because they didn't use him at all last year. Same with Karrion Kross. But solid match overall. Of course, you want if it's not a I'm sorry. Referee Bubba Ray Dudley is your referee. Didn't expect to see Bubba, but of course ECW Philadelphia, of course he was there and had a good spot with get the tables because Karrion Kross decided he wanted to get in Bubba's face. Wrong move to do. He pulled out the glasses like But no, it was a good spot. The best spot in this match was Montez Ford. If that ring barrier was not there, he would have been in somebody's lap in the front row. So you're always gonna see high flying with Montez Ford and the Street Profits, but they get the win here. Pretty solid match on my end. I liked it. Brett, what do you think?
I thought it was just a fun match. A way to fun way to keep the momentum going. It's one of those matches that, they built it up a little bit over throughout SmackDown, and they just had a fun, hard hitting match. Everybody was involved. Ford trying to send himself into the crowd. Even the ladies with the nice side Russian leg sweep through the table spot. Like, overall, everybody got involved. Everybody got in on the action. Unfortunately, the end spot with the table just randomly breaking on itself I'm sure that might have put a damper on it for a little bit for people, but overall, just a fun filler match that kept the energy up. So I'll take it. I thought it was good.
No.
I'm with Brett. I thought it was a solid matchup. It did what it was supposed to do. In the bigger picture, I think I overthink sometimes. I look at the match and I go, "What did this match do for the Profits? And where does Bobby Lashley go? Where's his career going? Like that, the fact that he's even in that match, I'm like, how the mighty have fallen. Like I just think that he could be used in a better way. And I'm looking at the Profits. We're constantly talking about their talent. I look at Montez Ford. He's one of the most electric athletes in the entire company, but I don't see them doing a lot for them. So I'm glad they won, but what does it do for them? Do they get any kind of bounce from this that elevates them and puts them into the tag team picture? And I think there's more questions than answers coming out of this match.
Chris?
This originally was the match I was least looking forward to on the card before it happened because I don't care about Karrion Kross. He's a waste of time for me. His matches are boring. This surprised me. It delivered. It exceeded expectations. Seeing Bubba Dudley was a good touch. I've never really been a Dudley Boy fan, but I get it. It's Philly. You bring him out. Good little pop. Got the "what's up" moment. And then, of course, like you said, Snoop Dogg just, I don't even know what he was watching some of the time because the stuff he was saying.
He said that's the family reunion table. That was my favorite line. Hey, you got the family reunion.
Like Brett said, though, B-Fab and Scarlett had their little moment. I think B-Fab may have legit got hurt the way her belt was. The way she kept grabbing her back. I don't know. but it wasn't the worst thing on the card. But hey, it was cool. It full time good.
Good question here by Kyle. He said the fact that the belts are split does it give you more hope for the Street Profits?
Eventually,
I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're actually probably the next logical choice to take it off A-Town down. Honestly, I think they're the next team to win it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree with that one. AJ Styles and LA Knight. LA Knight coming out to I already knew LA Knight was going to win. You know why? It was sponsored by Slim Jim. And who is this sponsor man for Slim Jim? LA Knight. Yeah. And of course, this is not Mo's favorite guy. And I'm not sure how he felt about this match. But I don't know if you watched this match. Mo, you can go first. And AJ Styles got new music.
I watched the match, and it was an entertaining match to me. It wasn't the best match, but I thought it was entertaining. It's a anticlimactic because we knew that LA Knight was going to win. I mean, he's getting the big push. He was going to win. It's interesting though, as I'm watching the match, I came away more impressed with AJ Styles. I was like, AJ Styles still has so much talent, so much athleticism that I just feel like a guy like him, he's kind of in wrestling purgatory. They don't know what to do with him. You don't want him to be mid card, but you don't have him in the championship picture either. So he's in an odd spot in his career. Whereas you can tell clearly, LA Knight's probably going to be the one gunning for any number of belts. I can see him taking the belt off of Sami Zayn. I can see him taking the belt, or at least competing against Damian Priest. I think that would be an interesting matchup. But LA Knight is definitely somebody that's going to get a big push. But the match itself, it was entertaining. Look, I don't like LA Knight. Is there something about him? Am I wrong? Aren't there just some personalities in wrestling? You don't know why. You don't like them. And I don't. Maybe it's his face. Yeah, maybe it's his face. I don't like him. I don't like his voice. I don't like him. But I'll give him credit. He put in a really good performance.
But
it's funny because I've never been a big LA Knight guy. Like, I love participating with his chants and the entrance and all that's, really catchy, and his gimmick is entertaining. I just think that before this, he never really had great matches. Like, he gives you fun stories, but his matches always, like, to me, fail to deliver. Now, I want to see if he can now provide another great match with somebody that isn't AJ Styles, because quite frankly, we could give AJ Styles a match against, the blow up doll that won the 100-man battle royal at the GCW event over the weekend, and he would make that a 5-star match. So,
facts.
I did think this was a really good match, and I'm thinking maybe LA Knight has more that he's been showing us, but I need to see him put on a really good match with somebody that isn't AJ Styles, because AJ Styles, to me, he's this era Shawn Michaels. You can put him in with anybody, and it's gonna become a great match. So overall, this is a good match, though. I'll take it, and I think they're building up LA Knight to fight Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
That's a good idea.
Speaking of Logan Paul, good segue there, Brett. I see what you did. Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Logan Paul comes out on the Prime truck, and he has I am Speed, or whatever the hell his name is with him. Kevin Owens comes out to a big pop by the crowd, but he goes back and get the golf cart. He drives it down, and he says he goes back up. Randy Orton comes out, and he told Randy to hop on the back. Randy Orton was a little hesitant. He's like, all right, I'll get on. And they go to the ring. Started off as them tag teaming, Logan Paul beating them up. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, okay, well, we got to fight each other. That's how I knew they was going to go turn on each other when they both went for the pin. I was like, all right, somebody got to pin somebody. Y'all both can't do it. Was I shocked that Logan Paul won this? Of course. Hated this decision. I picked Randy, but overall, it was a great match. We can clearly see, love him or hate him, Logan Paul's an entertainer. He's definitely bit of a made for the WWE in this position in part-time. Crazy athletic, talented, entertainer. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like I said, I don't mind Logan Paul here because it's not like, oh, we pushing him to be a WWE champion. But having him having the US, all right, I get it. You have the little shine for a minute. But Logan Paul did win this match. Chris, what you think about the match?
It was a good match. I picked Logan Paul to win just because, like what Brett said, I think LA Knight takes it off of him at SummerSlam. Before I kind of go into a little bit more, I do want to say something that Mo said earlier about LA Knight. It's Kevin Owens for me. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like listening to him talk. I do like that he wrestles in basketball shorts. Like, that's pretty cool. And that's where it stops. I don't like Kevin Owens. I don't know what it is. So I 100% feel you on the LA Knight thing, just because I can say it about Kevin Owens.
It's not just me, see?
But it was a good match. I never doubted Logan Paul was going to lose because Randy didn't need it. It was just really Randy was just there so he could have something to do for WrestleMania. And he had his RKO moment, which was good. It wasn't my favorite match. It wasn't my least favorite match. It was there. It delivered. I'm not mad at it.
No.
I thought it was an entertaining match, but this was the one match where I thought Logan Paul's belt was the safest of any belt that was on the line in WrestleMania. I knew he wasn't going to lose. The idea that those two guys, Orton and Owens, are buddy. You're buddy until you get in the ring and one of you wants to be the champion. The truth of the matter is, if you're the champion, both of those guys are your allies. When one tries to pin you, the other one saves you, and vice versa. Logan Paul played that perfectly. When Randy hits Owens with the RKO, Logan Paul, ever opportunistic, took advantage of the moment. And I'm not saying he's Montez Ford, but he has elite athleticism. Like, there's a lot of things this kid can work on, but athleticism and taking high risk is not one of them. I'm not mad at him being there because he brings the kind of heat to where you dislike him, but you're entertained by him at the same time.
Yep.
Brett?
Can we talk about his buckshot lariat though? It's amazing. It's even better than Paige's.
Yeah, I even like his frog splash. He gets so much. His height is crazy with it. Like, it's beautiful. I can't hate on him on that end. Like, that frog splash was great.
Yeah, no, for sure. He throws a phenomenal buckshot. Can't deny that. It is so fluid. Yeah, this to me was like one of the easier matches to predict because I still think there's a lot of meat left on the bone for Logan Paul. Even if you have him lose it to LA Knight at SummerSlam, I think there's still plenty of fun opponents to throw him against. Overall, it was an entertaining match. I love it. There's a lot of fun moments. Obviously, Randy Orton RKOing the streamer, the speed there on the table, then hitting
funny.
a pop up RKO later. Like, to me, everybody had their moments, and it was just nonstop action. So I was super entertained by the entire thing.
Yeah, that was a good spot. That pop up RKO. That was cool. Uh, 3 most dangerous letters in all of WWE. It comes out of nowhere. Next match we had Bayley and Io Sky. Good pop for Bayley. I mean, her entrance, everybody was trying to figure out why. They was like as a little heelish, her coming out like that. But we all know that Bayley had to win this match. Damage control, they kicked her out, or they betrayed her, and she won the Rumble. She picked Io. Great match overall. I was just like, oh my gosh, if Io Sky go up for one more moonsault, it's gonna be a wrap. I thought it was gonna be over. I was like, oh, they not gonna let Bayley win, and then I just need her to get a new finisher. Not the Bayley to belly though, but that other one. What is the Rose Plant? That move sucks. That move is horrible. I'm sorry. It's she should have won off the Bayley to belly.
Yeah.
I don't like that either. She just needs I think she just needs a whole revamp of moves like that. I never liked her finish. I never liked that Bayley to belly. I never liked it. But she gets the win with the Rose Plant. Brett, your thoughts?
First off, I agree that the Rose Plant is pretty terrible. It's like Dean Ambrose's like Dirty Deeds, except if you ordered it off Temu. But Overall, this is a match I actually had to go back and watch because I told myself whichever match was before the Cody Roman match was going to be my bathroom break match. So I was really mad that it was this match because I love Bailey. I still caught the end, like the last 3 or 4 minutes of the match, and overall, I thought they did really good. They even a couple times managed to get us to believe that Bailey wouldn't win. I think they did great at suspending belief, which if you're doing that, you're doing a really good job. And overall, I think these ladies did a really good job trying to get us to believe that the obvious finish wasn't going to happen. So overall, it was a great match. It's never an easy spot to be right before the main event, but I think these ladies knocked it out of the park.
Well,
I enjoyed the match. I actually watched it from beginning to end, and I said this before. In defeat, Io Sky is an incredible performer. I mean, she's amazing. Like on talent alone, she could just out and out win that match. I just thought she did a great job of helping put Bailey over. I was not disappointed. Like we can always joke about Bailey's finisher, but I was happy for Bailey for her to have that moment. But when somebody like Io loses, somewhere down the line, she's gonna be wearing a belt again. She's that kind of she's that talented. So it was just a great moment for Bailey, and I enjoyed the match. It's a great lead up match to the main event, so it worked well for me.
Chris.
Yeah, I was glad to see Bailey win. It was a moment that she deserved. Her WrestleMania singles win. Like Mo said, Io is amazing. That Rose Plant counter, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like I had to watch that like multiple times. It was crazy to see that. Her moonsault is amazing. I really hate that Io didn't get the run that she should have had. Name me one Io title defense during this reign.
Yeah, nah. Yeah,
Exactly.
I can't. She didn't get no shine or no push, and she's a hell of a performer.
Yeah, it's almost like she won a title just so Bailey could take it off of her at WrestleMania, which is not fair to her. So hopefully, like Mo said, she does get a longer run down the line. But it was a good match. It was a good build to the main event. It wasn't. I mean, and I guess it's kind of in a sad spot too because you have to compare it to the other women's match too, and
that's what it is.
There was nothing that was going to top that one. So
yeah, nah. And the main event of the evening.
Oh wait, there was more after this. I could have sworn that the show just ended after this match.
That's when I left. That's actually when I left.
Yeah. So the main event of the evening: Cody Rhodes versus Mr. 1,366 days Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief.
Before we talk about that nonsense, can we answer Kyle's question?
Oh my God! Will the women's get a mid card title? They should. They need to. NXT is getting a women's North American title.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's crazy. NXT is doing it first.
And it's funny we did talk about that last week or the week before we talked about that a little bit. I think that they should the main roster should have a mid like Intercontinental for women's. I think you'll see a lot of the women talent. I think they should think about it. NXT's getting one. Why not? But since you don't want to talk about this main event, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Of course, you had Cody Rhodes. Roman had the best entrance of the night. He's the one that had the lot. I knew it was going to be orchestra. We was trying to figure out who was going to have it. We was like maybe Gunther. It was Roman. Forgot all about Roman and his music. Shout out to the School District Philadelphia kids, who's the choir and the orchestra. So they did a good job with Roman's music. Of course, Cody Rhodes came out from the stage. He had the mask on, and then once the dust cleared away, you seen Brandy take the mask. Brandy tells him to go finish the story. I was excited about hearing Cody Rhodes' music in person, so that was exciting for me. Great match. Well, it's a great match for me overall. Great match. you and Mo, Chris and Mo's not going to think otherwise. Into the match, we like, okay, when the shenanigans going to begin? Cody gets the table. Roman was like, no, get the tables on my terms. They did go out in the crowd a little bit. We had some tables being broken. Later on in the match, I'm like, all right, when's the shenanigans going to begin? Now, when is everybody coming now? So the first person you come, you see Jimmy, boom, super kick, another kick, and then here comes Jay. Jay Uso's. When I say his entrance is lit in person, I mean everybody goes crazy. Just for that little spot he had, Jimmy ran up the ring and then he hit him and then they speared him off the ramp. I was like, oh my god, that was the OMG moment there. Shenanigans begin. So Cody regroups himself. Solo. So him and Solo do their thing. That spear, Spike. That was a cool moment. And then here comes Mr. John Cena. Cena comes running his behind down the ramp. Cena still look good too to be in his 40s. You know, he said he's not done yet, so I don't know what Cena's gonna be up to. But here he come running down the ramp. Attitude gives the AA to Roman. You can't see me. Rock comes out next. Rock came out. I said, y'all got the Rock in his pajamas. Rock couldn't wear no regular clothes. He got the man in his pajamas. He beats up Cena, and then you hear it. Dum. I'm like, oh, Taker's here. The lights go out, the gongs go off. Here's the Undertaker. Rock turns around, choke slam, lights go out. Taker's gone. Like, where did he go? Rock went to. Where did these two go? Where did they go? Seth Rollins, you hear the Shield. I'm like, wait a minute now, the Shield. It didn't click until later on. I'm like, why is the Shield? And then all of a sudden, I'm looking in the crowd. I'm like, where is he at? Here comes Seth. But then, Roman stops him. Roman gets a chair, pays back Seth. All he had to do was go after Cody, but he decided he needed that 10-year payback revenge on him. Hits him with the chair. 3 crossroads later for the 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes is your new champion. And Samantha Irwin with the emotional ring announcement. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna get to her in a little bit, but Brett, we'll get to these two. We'll say their comments for last. Your thoughts on the match?
I thought it was an extremely overbooked match, which it absolutely should have been with the story that was being told. Overall, I loved it. I think that let me put it this way: Cody wins last year. Everybody turns on him within like a day because it would be too predictable, right? The way they drug out this match between last year and this year and built it up for an extra year, added The Rock, him giving the Rock the title match, got the crowd behind him even further, and got him even more over, leading to this moment, was absolutely great. I loved it, and the match itself, all the layers of storytelling, like every single interference made sense. Everything they did made sense. Everybody wanted Austin, but to me, the Undertaker made a lot more sense because the Undertaker has history with Roman and The Rock, while Austin just has history with The Rock. But this wasn't The Rock's story to tell. We were telling the story of Roman and his past coming back to bite him. So the Undertaker made a lot of sense.
And plus, he was in town.
And at the end of the day, this was a great a great match, and I absolutely enjoyed the crap out of it. The last 10 minutes is gonna be remembered as one of the most iconic finishes in WrestleMania history. Book it.
And Brett also saw Taker running away.
Yeah, he ran right out the section right next to me. That was really cool.
Oh yeah,
Mo.
man. I mean, I'm not gonna be like it was. The match itself was entertaining, but like there's certain things that throw you off. Like there was a moment you mentioned it, Key. He survived a spear and a spike at the same time. Now, either one of those can put you down for a 3 count. He got both of those, and the man kicked out like he was fresh as a daisy. That was troubling for me. I was like, come on now, here we go with the all of a sudden everybody got Hulk Hogan recuperative powers and stuff. They can just bounce back with super strength. The shenanigans. Look, I thought that the funnest part was when Rock came down because for some reason Rock was highly upset. He was talking to himself. He was cursing all the way to the ring. Like that guy was very angry. I was like, Rock is pissed. And I was like, something didn't go right or whatever. But he was very angry. Look, it is entertaining overall. I was only disappointed with the actual ending, but I enjoyed the entire match. Taker coming in and laying Rock on the ground because that really wasn't a choke slam. That was like a hard lay. I mean,
Oh
that
my
wasn't a choke
God.
slam.
He
That was
got him up though.
the man barely could get him up. I think Rock had to kind of jump himself to help him because he was barely got him up. Like it was entertaining again, and it was nostalgia because you bring Cena down there, and Cena's running down there, and he's not a member of Hair Club for Men because he's got that patch there that's missing. But that's on him. He's got the money to pay for it. Pay for the rug, man. But look, it's Cody's night. And it was Cody's time. And like I said, you know what? Chris brought up a great point earlier. Jimmy's only usefulness is to come down and take a punch. It's the only thing. I mean, that's the only thing Jimmy provides, like for the team. I can go down there and get beat up for somebody. That's what Jimmy does. But look, Cody Rhodes, great night, great moment for him. It ushers in a new era, they say, in WWE. So like I said, I enjoyed the entire WrestleMania. I was just being a sour sack about the way it ended, but I enjoyed it overall.
Chris?
The match was good. It was a great match. I enjoyed it up until the last 4 minutes. Once I heard the gong, it's kind of but I'll get to that in a second. The Jimmy J spot. When I watched it, I did not see the tables. So I thought that they just took a dive off the stage onto the floor. That was scary. But obviously there were tables there to, help him out. So that was cool. Poor Solo. He hasn't won since he's beat Cena. And then Cena comes out just to beat him up again. So I guess that's even further down the card Solo goes now. Which is not okay. They run Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame weekend with this stuff. He should have been raising the Tribal Chief's hand in victory, but no.
That's right.
What's crazy is overall, I probably like Cody Rhodes as a wrestler more than I like Roman. I didn't like Cody with this because it should have been the dream match that we have been wanting for 10 years. Rock and Roman. They messed it up by letting Cody win the Rumble, so they had to correct it.
For the Tribal Chief, baby.
They had to let Cody have his, get back into the spot or whatever, which was because people complained again. There was no risk of it being hijacked. People would have settled in and adjusted to The Rock because it's The Rock. We saw what he did for this situation. But I see what Britt is saying about The Undertaker, but why? He had nothing to do with this story whatsoever. At least you can tie Cena to Solo beating his ass. Okay, I get it. You want to get your revenge on Solo. Rock, Cena technically gave you your last loss. So, okay, beat him up too. Undertaker, go do something else. And why are you dressed like that?
Because for one, do you really want to see? You know how long it takes him to get dressed?
Then don't come.
Oh my! He was already in town. His podcast was in Philly.
There's a lot of people who was in Philly.
You gonna really say, okay, we're gonna turn down Undertaker? Get out of here, Chris.
Yes, the Undertaker should have been there. Hell, R-Truth would have made more sense than Undertaker. Because
I think at this point, R-Truth got more energy than Undertaker too.
That is very true.
No,
Pat McAfee would have made more sense. It doesn't. It just didn't tie to anything, and he ultimately cost him by being the last person there. And where the hell did they go?
Well, Undertaker went back in the crowd, and I think Rock rolled out and was at the bottom of the ramp somehow. So yeah, that's what happened.
But the Crossroads, which is the worst finisher right now. Why does it take 26 to beat anybody? It was 3 back-to-back, but throughout the match, overall, it's 8. It's such a weak finisher.
How many spears does Roman and Superman punches does Roman throw throughout a match?
Superman punch doesn't count. It's not his finisher.
The spear makes more sense though. Roman's a 280-pound man. Cody weighs about 220. That crossroads, man, you might as well do the Dusty Rhodes Bionic Elbow. Might have more effect.
No, I'll say, well, but you got to remember too, the Undertaker does have history with Roman. Not only that, he is the locker room leader. He's the guy that, when everything gets crazy, he's the guy that restored order for the longest time. So,
6 years ago.
like, Roman did. He has history. Roman speared him through a barricade, triple power bombed him through a table, beat him at WrestleMania. Like, the history's there. He has history with The Rock, and once again, for the longest time, this is the guy that, when order needed to be restored, they would call the Undertaker. So it seemed random, but at the same time, at least with the tie into his history with the Bloodline and him feuding with Roman and The Rock, it made more sense than somebody like Stone Cold who doesn't have any history with
Oh, I didn't
Roman
want Stone
at
Cold near
all.
WrestleMania. Screw that guy.
Chris would have really had a fit if
Oh
Austin
my
came out.
gosh, no! I would have been cool to see The Rock get a stunner, but
Like, Undertaker's the biggest name that made sense because he has a tie-in with everybody in that match except Cody. And even then, he had some nice. Cody's one of his fondest Royal Rumble moments is with Undertaker. He tells that story often.
the dropkick
Undertaker looked
thing.
up to Dusty Rhodes, so he has a tie-in with the Rhodes and the Bloodline.
It's Bianca Belair's yard now. She's the undefeated one.
Michael Cole is undefeated at WrestleMania 2. Don't forget.
No.
Favorite
So let
entrance?
me ask you this, Key. Going
Mhm.
forward, because of the way things went for Judgment Day, on the other side of that, what is the Bloodline now? What are they? Where are they? Well,
Good question.
you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know, Rock came out and congratulated Cody. Then he did a little move about, I'm getting ahead. I don't want to get too far ahead, but I'm just wondering what is the path forward for the Bloodline, and what do they look like now going forward?
Well, apparently Roman won't be. I don't know how long of a break he's taking, but from what I read today, they said something about his TV appearance won't be before SummerSlam. So that's a hell of a break. But he, at the end of the day, 1,300 days as champ, 3-year run. He needs a significant break to be with his family.
Let's be honest. If Roman would have won, he wasn't coming back to a SummerSlam anyway.
Rock probably won't be back till SummerSlam either. So it's left with Jimmy and Solo.
I think Solo, you probably build up as a mid card monster. I could see him challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. Jimmy, I really think you just find a way to put him back with his brother because him as a single superstar, he's just going to be putting people over every week.
And the draft is coming up, so things are about to get shook up.
True.
But overall, favorite moment, favorite entrance, all that good jazz. Brett, how about you?
Favorite entrance, Roman. Favorite moment, my bias always is going to be the Undertaker interfering because he's my favorite of all time. In terms of actual match work, man, that is honestly my favorite moment. Might have been Samantha Irving calling the end with the whole emotional and your winner, like the whole just ending to that, and Samantha Irving with the emotional call. All that was absolutely perfect.
Mo?
I think my favorite moment was obviously Priest coming down and cashing in. I got a kick out of that, and I think he's gonna get a big push from that. I was curious about the Samantha Irvin moment. Don't get me wrong, she was so emotional. I get that, but I was thinking, is she so emotional because she was happy for Cody in the moment or sad for Roman? Like, I knew she was clearly emotional, but I didn't know which for what reason was she so emotional, because clearly she barely got through saying who was the winner. So I thought, wow, she had some feelings invested in that outcome.
Chris?
I think Mo just saved that relationship, because I was about to say, if I was Ricochet, I'd be pissed. How are you this happy for gonna win it. All the matches I won, you ain't never been emotional for me. But she was sad about Roman losing. So okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was really mad at Samantha, but now Mo just saved it. Okay. I get it. I felt the same way, Samantha. I was sad Roman lost too.
So was I.
Well,
Oh
Ricochet,
no. Go ahead, Brett.
no, say Ricochet would actually have a win a match in order for Samantha to be emotional. Let's be real here.
He did lift Ivar up. I mean, that should count for something.
It's funny because somebody was like, "Do Samantha know who the winners is?" They said no. So when she's just a surprise when they win when everybody else is. But gotta give her props, man. The whole WrestleMania weekend, she was the best when it came to announcing. You put her up in the best of ring announcers. I would have to put her up there in the top 5 when it comes to ring announcers. But that whole weekend, she was awesome. At one point when she was introducing them, I was like, I'm ready to go through a brick wall. It felt like Bruce Buffer at UFC when he go, it's time, and he's introducing the UFC fighters. Like, it felt that big in that moment. At one point, I was like, I know you cold, Samantha. Then I was like, no, you're not, because they got the heated ring. The ring was heated. It was about 45 degrees on night 2. The temperature did drop. It was about in the 60s when I got there, about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was about in the 60s. But when the sun let down, my hands was freezing. So I can only imagine how everybody else felt. But the wrestlers was warm because they had the heats and the lights. It was heated. The ring was heated, so they wasn't cold at all. My best night, it has to, honorable mention goes to Samantha Irwin with the emotional ring out with the emotional call. Best entrance gave it to Roman. Gonna say Priest with the cash in. That was cool too. Montez Ford damn near going in the front row. That was a spot for me too, because if that ring bearer wasn't there, he would have been in somebody's lap. And I know Bianca Belair was in the back going, oh my God, what are you doing? You trying to kill me too. So she has her moments when Ford does crazy stuff and she just is like, why? And get worried and all that. So that was mine. Roman gets the main event for me with the entrance. But solid WrestleMania. Do you put WrestleMania 40 in your top overall WrestleManias? What y'all say?
Yeah. I think since the 2-night WrestleMania has happened, this is probably the first one with night 2 being better than 1. Which is crazy because on paper, 1 was way better. Night 1 looked way better. But it was a good setup to night 2. So it just the build up from everything, from the main event to the first match being Seth to the main event time to the main event from night 1. So everything about night 2 just clicked so good because of the night 1. So I'm gonna have to put 40 up there. It's in my top 3 for sure.
No.
It's in my top 5. Everything Chris said, I echo. It was entertaining. I thought night 1 perfectly set up night 2. The theme going all along that a lot of these veterans were finally getting their due, their opportunity to carry the belt. So from Sammy to Bailey to obviously to Cody, the moment with Miz and R-Truth was just a great moment as well. Like I said, I enjoyed this WrestleMania. I'm being a sour face only because I'm like Chris. I did not enjoy the last 4 minutes of the main event. But I am gonna get over it. And look, I can see the Key and Brett are on the other side of this, and so I'm not gonna try to bring down my friend's joy. Yeah, I'm happy if you guys are happy. I'll wallow in my own pity when we get off the air.
The hell I will. No, I'm miserable. Y'all gonna be miserable too. Damn it.
I told Chris, Chris, I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna send it, and I send it. I kept my promise.
I started to block you, but
Brett.
Yeah, I think it's got everything you wanted in a WrestleMania, right? Iconic entrances, iconic moments with Gunther's title reign ending, Cody ending Roman's, The Rock's first match, and let's be real, 11 years. We can say 8, but I don't really care for that match against Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32. So his first, I'm going to say, full match in 11 years. You know, 2 great main events, 2 great openers, the cash in. Overall, I just don't know what more you could have asked for this WrestleMania. The only thing you could say really drug it down was they say, like Mo saying, Mo and Chris, the ending was, really predictable, and the Jimmy and Jay match. But overall, like, I really don't know what more you could have asked for in a WrestleMania, because I think this one checked every box that you could ask for an iconic WrestleMania. I think this is easily a top 3, at worst top 5 WrestleMania of all time.
Um, this was Triple H's first match, WrestleMania, and under his era. So just imagine what next year's WrestleMania is going to be. I think tomorrow on YouTube, you can catch the behind the scenes stuff. He even said that 80% of this card was already done in October. So he just had to build off of it. So next year, I think WrestleMania will be, another banger under Triple H, and just his creativeness. He should have been in charge all along. If Vince was in charge, we wouldn't have got this. We would have not seen this if Vince was running the show. Never. This wouldn't have been the Raw after WrestleMania last year was complete and utter trash. It wasn't bad last night. It wasn't bad. Got the Rock coming out, and Philly gave him hell. A-hole chant, tell him to shut the F up. It was typical Raw after WrestleMania fashion.
It was.
CM Punk screws Drew over again. So Jade had the squash match. Sammy came out. They had that match. R-Truth, and that was funny. The Judgment Day. Here come Truth talking about something. I'm in the Judgment Day. The crowd was like, "Yes, he is." I'm like, "What?" So I mean,
where the hell did he come from though? Like he literally just
He
appeared.
disappeared.
Like,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
During the commercial break, Pat McAfee was that's something y'all didn't catch on Raw, but he was just thanking Philly for breaking another record. It was 20K last night during Raw, and it was Michael Cole's birthday, so 20K, 20,000 people sung "Happy Birthday" to Michael Cole.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was pretty cool. And at the end, CM Punk was talking, and him and Jay signed. Jay took off his shoes. They both signed them, and they threw them into the crowd. So somebody went home with a souvenir. But overall, Raw was good. So we'll see what SmackDown brings. I know we've seen Roxanne Perez, Dragunov fought. They won. Rhea Ripley took a shot to the chair in the head. That Liv Morgan, she threw that chair perfectly. And Rhea didn't know that was coming. So they should have an interesting feud. Again, the draft is at the end of towards the end of the month. So we'll see what the shakeups is going to be. Before we roll out, your thoughts. I know Money in the Bank is not until July. Who do you think should be in the line for Money in the Bank next?
Ooh, that's a really tough one. I did want to say one more thing about WrestleMania real quick. Is one thing I like that they did is they told almost like an overall story, emotional story too, because the theme of like the opening and closing matches I thought were perfect. Of don't let your hatred of one person get in the way of the big picture, because that's exactly what happened with Drew, and then it happened again with Roman. So I thought that was also beautiful. The overlying emotional message that they were sending. Overall, with Money in the Bank, it's really tough. Man, I really got to think about this one more, because I'm not sure, honestly.
Y'all any thoughts on Money in the Bank, Chris or Mo?
Not Jay or Jimmy.
I almost said Jay, or I almost said Jimmy, just to be funny. Actually, I really did. It depends on how they build him, but I can see Braun Breaker.
I would like that.
I mean, I could see Gunther too. Use that to propel him to the main event scene.
He's not done. He's definitely not done.
The only thing about Gunther is for Money in the Bank is too much of a it's like a cheap victory for him. It's not ring general, like, you know, like he's gonna want to come out to you and announce that I'm gonna beat your ass, like face to face and everything. That's the only thing I don't like about doing Money in the Bank.
Well, I could see him taking like the Rob Van Dam route or the John Cena route. Him coming out and announcing beforehand, "Hey, at SummerSlam, I'm cashing this in and I'm beating your butt for the title."
Yeah.
He may not even wait to wrestle. If he does win it, he may not even wait to WrestleMania. Oh, and also they bring back King and Queen of the Ring as well. Hopefully they give them, if whoever wins, maybe something, a reward for winning. Not the world titles, maybe the Intercontinental or US title, something. They should get something for winning King and Queen of the Ring. But there you have it, guys. We did our WrestleMania recap of everything. Shout out to Mo for hopping in.
Appreciate it.
Definitely always welcome to hop on whenever. Chris, sorry that Roman lost. You know, you're in titty right now, but you'll be okay. You'll be all right. You'll be just fine. Brett, going up the ones. Have a safe flight back home whenever you do leave Philly.
Most definitely.
WrestleMania was great weekend from SmackDown all the way until Raw. Even NXT had its moments. Stand and Deliver wasn't bad. I just wish that the Mello and Trick match was a little longer. I'm like, it's
yeah, it was good, but it just needed. It didn't get into like that next gear.
What the hell? What, y'all couldn't go 3 o'clock? Y'all started at 12. Y'all had to end at 2:45. Y'all couldn't go 3. Y'all couldn't go 3 o'clock because it ended at 2:45 literally. But they're going to be in the they're going to be in the steel cage match. I heard Trick and Mello. Maybe we see Carmelo Hayes Friday. We'll see some more NXT guys come up. Kyle said Chris won't be back until Roman gets the belt back.
I'll be back next week.
That quick. I'm there.
But throw the ones up just in memory of Roman. You can put the ones up. But until then, guys, that is it. Appreciate y'all for watching. To come on back next week at 9:30. We'll have some more shenanigans. Until then, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. So long.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.